Welcome back to another episode of Justin's Journey. I hope you don't mind me telling stories because here's another one. This episode, what I want to talk about is honoring your fears. We've got this idea, I think, that however it's spread around culturally or just amongst ourselves, that fear is this thing to be overcome. When I think what may be stronger, and this is for each of you to consider, what might be stronger is actually learning to honor your fear, but then do stuff anyways. So the story I'm going to tell you is about the very first time I did stand-up comedy. Now, at this point in my life, I'd acted in films, commercials, and theater. In fact, very large theater in front of a large audience. I mean, you feel the energy, but I never really experienced getting super nervous in those situations, largely because I came very prepared. Stand-up comedy was different because it was my material. I felt so transparent and exposed and seen right through by the audience before I even got onto the stage. And where I went was a small club. It was in a small town in Alberta. And I wrote some material at the time that was on the risky side. And for me personally, I felt like I needed to, if something came up in my writing where I thought, ooh, I probably shouldn't say that, I felt like I needed to say it more because I wanted to get enormously over that hurdle of feeling like I had to hold back at all. I knew that if I couldn't do stand-up comedy on stage and feel free to say whatever the heck I wanted, no matter the consequences or no matter the reaction, that I didn't want to do it at all. So I had written material like that. Now, is it funny or not? I mean, before I get on stage, seriously, you don't know. Maybe it's funny to you. Maybe it's funny one day, you read it the next day, you're like, is this funny? And it's tough. So I'm waiting for my turn to go on stage and find out, right? And in the meantime, 4 people went on the stage ahead of me. And I was told that those individuals had some experience, maybe a couple of years. I think in one case, I was told a fella had 5 years experience. And they were bombing. They were bombing. The audience was not having it too much either. The body language was almost anger. They were just kind of like, And I watched one guy tell a joke, set up punchline, and just nothing but dead air. And he was just sweating bullets. Like he's like, oh, okay, let's try this joke. And so, anyways, I watched these 4 guys go before me as my turn's getting closer. I had them in this little hallway nook by these vending machines, and I got nervous like I don't think I have ever experienced in my life. Just physical nerves. And I've heard people talk to me about feeling ill, butterflies, all of that. All of a sudden, I was just like, oh, so that's what that's like. I got to tell you, I was so nervous. I could have probably just vomited, passed out, and died on the floor back there privately by the vending machines as my turn got closer. Now, I had my material memorized. I knew what I was going to say, and it was only a 5-minute bit. But my turn came up, and I went up there, and the very first joke I ever told, it got a good laugh.
Thanks, Justin. Thanks for having me. I was really excited to get here. I was texting my buddy the whole drive up. Not like regular texting. That's illegal in a car, obviously. I was using speech to text. In fact, I've used speech to text so frequently that I think it's starting to affect the way that I talk. Period. You know what I mean? Question mark?
And it got an awesome laugh. I've got the video of it still. And I went on, and overall the set was very good, actually, even looking back at it today. The point is getting back to honoring our fears. Sometimes our fears might be telling us things like, if you go up there, you might bomb. They might think you're stupid. In fact, when I went up there, I was confident that there was one of 3 scenarios that were going to happen. One, the audience was going to not only not laugh, but be pissed off at me and be chasing me into the parking lot or something like that. I thought that was the least likely scenario, but possible. 2, I thought they just wouldn't laugh, and it would just be flat and be awful and awkward. I don't think I thought there was, I think I thought maybe they might chuckle at 1 or 2. I thought those are the 3 options. It went better than all 3 of those options. They liked it. It was good. I had a fun time. And coming out of the other side of that sure felt great too. It's just like, oh, it wasn't that bad, right? So my fears in that case were telling me things like they might not only not laugh, they might be offended. They might be it might just be ugly, And I had to honor my fears, not say, be quiet, fears. That's not going to happen. I had to kind of say, honoring your fears means you say, you're right, fears. That might happen. And I'm going to go try it anyways. I think there's a lot of power in life when you learn to honor your fears, respect the voice of your fear, and say, that's true. That could happen. That's a possibility. I'm going to do it anyways. That's my story for today. That's my thoughts. Honor your fear. I think you might find a path to get places you never imagined possible if you start trying that out. Have a lovely day, everyone. Bye-bye.